Hey, so depending on the day, my commute could be anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. And before I used to be super frustrated and annoyed sitting in traffic, and now I take advantage of using that as part of my mobile classroom. Hey, I'm Dr. Vanessa, and I'm sharing the barriers and the burdens to the beauties and blessings inside and outside the classroom. And these views are all mine. So I make my commute not only productive, but really enjoyable and intentional. And here's how I do it. So in the morning, I typically am listening to some music, getting hyped about halfway into my commute. After a little bit of music as an appetizer, I switch over to learning mode, and I use Mango Language's really cool exclusive audio feature to practice pronunciation, sentences, and things like that. I don't even have to touch my phone to go through maybe 1 or 2 lessons. So when I'm preparing for workshops or lectures or anything like that, I love using podcasts as a source of that material. Podcasts allow me to use the commute to get as much information as I can before I even sit at my desk. That way I can go ahead and start going into the work as opposed to looking at information. What's also really cool about podcasts is that I get to listen to a variety of experts from a variety of different places. And then I can also search and look at their additional sources that are more traditional, like articles, scholarly journals, and things like that. Before I even get out the car, sometimes I go ahead and do a chess, music, and math lesson. And then I switch over to Elevate that has really cool brain teasers that not only focus on coming up with words off the top of the dome and talking more concisely, but it also helps with my editing and speech as well. And then on the drive home, after a long, busy day, I like to disassociate safely by listening to an audiobook. And I use a variety of different sources and apps to explore different books from a variety of amazing authors. I use Chirp books or cheap books, and also they have really great deals. So I definitely encourage you all to check that out. I am not sponsored. I also use Libby for books that I want to get immediately. The only downside is that I feel like all of my audiobooks are all released all at the same time. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it's definitely something worth navigating, especially when you're trying to minimize cost. And then if you really have to buy something a little bit more on the full price end or no sale or stuff like that, I use Libro.fm. And that allows me to not only support authors that I want to support, but also support local indie bookstores, because a portion of the proceeds of that purchase goes to them as well. So if I'm going to spend my money, I'm going to do my very best to be intentional while I do it. If I use my time effectively in the car, especially when I'm going to and from work and to and from lectures, I can gain over a whole day's worth of material and work over the course of several days, which again is regaining some of that time back, which is really cool and important. Some days I'm consistent and I do this all the time, and other times I am not. Sometimes I just need to listen to a jam or sing some Broadway tunes, and that's okay. It's about shooting for progression, not perfection. And the fact that I even do this as frequently as I do is still considered a win. But if you do have a long commute and you're not necessarily using it for professional development or personal growth, that is fine too. There's times where I go ahead and use that time to talk to my friends, talk to my sister, or anything like that, but I'm making use of that time so that way when I get home, I'm able to do the things that I need to do for myself. And if you remember anything else, just remember, I'm rooting for you because I'm already such a fan of yours. See y'all later.